MPOW are back once again with two new entries into the budget active noise cancelling headphones battle. The H19 at $70 and the H19 IPO for nearly half the price at $39. They're both reasonably affordable for the average consumer, so which one should you buy? What's the difference between them? Because it's not really that clear. Which has the better sound quality and ANC? Well, we're going to be finding out all the answers right now. Check the affiliate links in the description below for all the latest prices, because these are currently on sale at the time of recording, and the price of these will play a big part in choosing between these two very similar models. I bought these with my own money, but whether I buy a product myself or I receive them gifted, rest assured that you can expect the same brutally honest opinion as always. Okay, let's get started. Hey guys, Mark here, and I'm not going to waste your time. I'm going to get started by unboxing both of these different headphones at the same time so you can really compare them side by side. Now, MPOW don't make it all that clear, but the MPOW H19 IPOs are basically a budget version of the H19s. In fact, it was so unclear that I actually bought both of these just to confirm that, because I couldn't really work it out. But despite their drastically different appearance, there's actually more that's similar here than different. They both ship with a pouch instead of a hardshell case first of all, though the H19's pouch is much nicer with a leather-like feel. They also both fold up, the ear cups both rotate 90 degrees, they both have Bluetooth 5.0, 30 hours playback on a single charge, 40mm drivers and micro USB charging. So yeah, clearly they have a lot in common, but what's different? Well, the cheaper IPO model have active noise cancellation, whereas the H19s have hybrid active noise cancellation. That means that the H19s should block out more higher frequencies like voices, sirens, exterior music surrounding you much better than the IPO model. The H19s are also one step above slightly in terms of build quality too, though both are pretty aggressively plasticky. The H19s have some nice chrome plastic detailing and slightly higher quality button controls. The IPO model also has the words wireless and ANC headphone written on them, which I could definitely do without. The weight difference between these two products is quite substantial too, with the H19s weighing 60 grams more than the IPOs at 300 grams compared to the IPO's lighter 240 grams. Most importantly, despite both having soft memory protein earpads as described in their listing on Amazon, the H19's padding is clearly superior to the IPO's padding. As you can see, the IPO's earpads spring back instantly, whereas the H19s are much slower to spring back, which is definitely going to help when it comes to comfort. However, during my stress test, the H19s actually made a little more creaking sounds than the IPOs, and the IPOs were actually a lot more flexible. But even despite this, I'm still going to give the build quality and design round to the H19s. If you had to put these two in a lineup, you could easily guess that the H19s cost more money than the cheaper IPO model. But apart from the unnecessary text on the headband of the IPOs, these two pairs of headphones aren't miles apart in terms of build quality and design at all. In terms of battery life, both models are neck and neck, offering 30 hours playback on a single charge, that's with the ANC off, and 20 hours with ANC on. So that round has got to be a tie, right? Well, actually no, I'm actually going to award this round to the H19s because they can fully charge in 1 to 2 hours compared to the 2.5 hours on the IPO model. So that's the battery life round to the H19s, just by a whisker. In terms of comfort and fit, things are surprisingly or not surprisingly close again. Both headphones don't exert too much clamping force to be uncomfortable, but just enough to provide a good seal for ANC and sound quality. The H19s don't clamp quite as much as the IPOs, meaning less ear fatigue. However, they are then much more liable to fall off with excessive movement, so that's a bit of a double-edged sword. The cheaper IPOs are actually much more secure by comparison. What I did notice, however, is that I had to use the IPOs at their max size, and to be honest, I wouldn't have minded a little extra headband space just in case. So in that respect, I have to say that the IPOs would definitely be well suited to smaller individuals and also kids as well. So in terms of fit, the IPOs win without a doubt, but when it comes to comfort, I'm going to call it a bit of a tie. Pretty surprising considering that the padding of the H19s is much softer and much slower to spring back. When it comes to microphone and call quality, the winner on paper is actually quite unexpected. It's the cheaper IPO model. The IPOs have Clear Voice Capture 8, whereas the H19s only have Clear Voice Capture 6. That should mean that the IPOs have a more powerful ambient noise reduction algorithm to help pick up your voice over background noise. So let's just quickly put that to the test and check out the microphone quality of both models.
So here's a microphone test of the H19s. Already you can hear the call quality is not great, a little fuzzy, a little rough around the edges. But let's see how that fares when I introduce background noise starting in 3, 2, 1. How does it sound now? Can my voice be heard over all of that annoying background static? It's struggling. I can still hear that background noise kind of competing with my voice. They aren't really that well separated.
And here is the microphone quality of the H19 IPOs. I mean, what a difference, considering these are $40. I have to say the microphone quality, just as it is right now, is probably on par with some of the more high-end ANC headphones that I have tested. So that is an instant win there. But anyway, let's introduce the background noise in 3, 2, 1. What do you think? Do you still think that the microphone quality is that great? Because I can tell you that I definitely do. It actually sounds really good. I can barely hear that background noise in this recording, and my voice definitely, without a doubt, maintains the focus 100%. As we said, on paper, the CVC 8.0 chip should always win, and it did. And that means that the H19 IPOs definitely win the microphone quality test round without a doubt. In terms of functionality and usability, both of these headphones hold their own. First of all, the audiovisual lag when watching YouTube, Netflix and gaming is next to none on both sets of headphones. The Bluetooth connection has been consistently strong on the H12s and the IPO Model 2, with 0 connection drops over the last few weeks. In terms of button controls, the H19s are a little higher quality, but not by much at all, so there actually isn't much that clearly sets these two apart in this category. So I'm going to call the functionality and usability round a tie. And polar opposite to the mic test, in the ANC round, the H19s win on paper because of that hybrid noise cancellation, compared to the IPOs, which just have regular active noise cancellation. So it's likely there won't be any surprises in this round, but who knows. Regardless, I'm going to play an audio sample of a noisy train to simulate a situation you'll likely find yourself in when wearing these headphones, and we're going to see which performs better. We'll see. But in actual fact, it was no surprise at all. The H19s just totally dominate the budget IPO model on all fronts. The IPOs are not only picking up those higher frequency noises like those chugging noises of the train on the track, but also a consistent dull roar on the higher end of those low rumbling wind sounds. When compared to the H19s, that dull roar is incredibly minimal, but also the chugging noises are actually much quieter too. But one thing that does go in favour of the IPOs is that the H19s have a much louder hiss and background static when ANC is on. I can almost actually hear two separate forms of static in the H19s, a lower and a higher pitched one, which is a little bit disappointing. The static I can hear on the IPOs is extremely subtle, but overall much easier to tune out. But even still, there's no denying that the ANC on the H19s was far superior, and even despite the symphony of static, they are the clear winners when it comes to ANC. In terms of sound quality, there's one winner, but though neither are truly mind-blowing, they do offer a lot for their modest price point. The IPOs are all mids on every track, in every different genre you listen to. The bass is fairly absent and highs often get lost, but on the plus side, that does mean vocals are always very clear, very bright. When you turn on the ANC, everything becomes treble boosted on the IPOs, which doesn't help their already treble heavy sound signature. The less layers of instrumentation in a track, the better for the IPOs, as they have very little soundstage too. If you're looking for a bass boosted profile, these will disappoint. Otherwise, they offer surprising quality for under $40. The H19s are better here when it comes to sound quality, but the lead isn't as huge as you would think. Instead of being all mids, the H19s offer more of a balanced sound signature, though the bass is still a little bit on the quiet side for my liking. It's less often lost against those powerful mids. Highs are still very quiet, but again, they are slightly improved when compared to the cheaper IPOs, and with ANC off, the H19s sound totally flat. Unfortunately, almost as if you were listening to them like kind of from a distance, if you just pulled them off your ears a little bit, if you know what I mean. The IPOs, however, aren't too bad in that respect with ANC off. On pure sound quality, the H19s win, but again, not by a lot. And in a way, I'd say that the IPOs are the best sound quality I've ever heard for $40 in ANC headphones, but I wouldn't say that the H19s are the best sound quality at the $70 price point at all. Case in point here, for an extra $20 on top of the H19s, you can pick up the Mixter E10s, the budget ANC headphones I often refer to as God tier. And why do I refer to them as that? Well, they don't have the same brutal background static as the H19s at all. The ANC switches itself on and off automatically, no ANC button required. They have USB-C charging instead of micro USB. The bass boosted sound quality is far superior, and the same goes for build. They also support aptX low latency too. You can check out my review of them by clicking here, or for $10 less than the E10s, you can also pick up the Tautronic SoundSurge 46, one of the most popular budget ANC headphones out there, as agreed on by basically everyone. So pick one of those and I'll see you in the next video.